Meeting of the Lancaster Township Zoning Hearing Board, and at this time I would ask Board Member Hall to read the agenda for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight we only have two matters. We have one matter of old business. It is a request for an extension of time until October 28th, 2026 by Amanda Groff on behalf of A. Scott Good. We have one matter of new business. Daniel Falcon Property Holdings has applied for a variance to permit the conversion of 2 residential units into 4 residential units at 1055 and 1057 Columbia Avenue.
Okay, is there a discrepancy maybe in the agenda? Is this?
That's an old agenda, I think, John.
That's
Okay, is this?
That one got withdrawn.
We're not.
All right, so this is,
Yep.
okay, that's right.
Yeah.
That one's withdrawn. Very good. I will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We do have minutes.
We have minutes then for the April meeting. Are there any revisions or supplements to the draft that is submitted? Hearing none, I would move to enter those minutes in the permanent record of the board.
My second?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So done.
The time extension.
We have a request for a time extension for the filing of a subdivision plan that was previously approved. The request was submitted in a letter dated June 17, 2026, and as I understand it, the request is to extend the period of time for filing of the plan to October 28, 2024.
26.
I'm sorry, 2026. Any thoughts, any discussion on this?
There's somebody here from the
We have a representative?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, very good.
Yes.
Good evening, Amanda Groff with Harbor Engineering. Here with me tonight are also the applicants, Scott and Karen Good. So as you mentioned, we're just here to request a time extension until October to allow us some additional time to record the plans. So nothing has changed that affects the zoning decision that was previously approved. The previous request was to allow for a special exception to create a flag lot on the property. So the plans were conditionally approved back in July of last year, put on hold for a little bit, and now we're just looking to finalize everything and get them recorded.
Good. Okay. I would move that we give the extension as requested, provide the extension as requested for the applicant.
I second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So that's approved then till October, and we hope you get that in timely. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Then we're moving on to new business, and that would be the application of Falcon Property Holdings.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Good evening. My name's Dwight Yoder. I'll do a little introduction here, and then we'll let you can come up. If you yeah.
Is it okay?
Listen to her.
Okay.
That's fine. You can come up, and I'll talk a little bit. The zoning board here is fairly informal, but we do follow some procedures and guidelines. I'd like to go over those before we start. The first thing that I've done is I've marked some exhibits that we'll put into the record. The first one is ZHB1, which is the application that was submitted for tonight. ZHB2 is the proof of publication, and ZHB3 is the verification of posting. John, I'm going to have you sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this evening shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Good evening, John.
Good evening.
Can you say your name for the record?
John Donlin.
And how are you employed by the township?
I'm the zoning officer.
I'm going to hand you what's been marked as ZHB3. It says verification of posting. And can you just state for the record that the property was properly posted for tonight's hearing?
It was on June 11th, 2026 at about 9:15 in the morning.
And ZHB2 is the proof of publication. Was tonight's hearing advertised in the LNP paper 2 times?
Yes, it was.
Okay. And was the tonight's agenda posted on the website?
Yes.
Okay. So before we turn it over to the applicant to go over their application, is there anyone in the audience that is interested in this application beyond making a comment? And I'll explain a little bit more. So in zoning proceedings at the end, the board will allow people to make public comments, and they're usually pretty open to having people ask questions, even if they're not considered what we call parties. But if you want to be officially recognized as a party and ask questions, present your own testimony, and then get a copy of the decision, and if you disagree with it, have the right to appeal, you have to request to become a party. And the board will consider the request based on whether you have what's called standing. That is a legal term to just simply mean that you have some interest in this application beyond the general interest of the public. That normally means you live or own property close by. So what the proposal would do would affect you more than just say somebody who happens to be driving down the road. You don't need to get party status to make a statement. You do need to get party status if you want to preserve the legal right to file an appeal if you disagree. The applicant is an automatic party, so you don't have to request it. But having said that, is there anyone in the audience that would like to become a party? Okay. Yes, sir.
I'm his realtor, so I'm just here if you guys have any questions I can.
Fine, you don't need to be a party, you can be one of his witnesses if it comes to that. The only other thing I will say is all witnesses have to be sworn in. So I think if you're going to say something tonight, stand up and we'll get you all sworn in.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this evening shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
All right, well, if you can just state your name for the record and then you can explain to the board what you're proposing.
Okay, good evening, board. My name is Daniel Falcone. I represent Falcon Property Holdings LLC, and I'm here on behalf of the application for 1055 and 1057 Columbia Avenue.
And can you just explain to the board a little bit what's there now and what you're proposing to do?
So currently, there's 2 residential properties. I guess it was 2 single homes, and I believe it's zoned locally commercial at this time. And what I'm proposing to do with the property is I would like to put in 2 residential units in each property. My plan would be to put 2 1-bedroom units, 1 on each floor, on each property. So that's what I'd like to do with this property, if approved.
Are the units, is it a duplex or are the 2 units separate?
It's a duplex.
Okay.
What is the current use of the property?
As far as I know, I mean, the property is vacant, so I don't know what it was used, what the last use was for it. But I'm pretty sure it's currently zoned for like business use, so I guess for like an office. I'm not sure what else falls within that for township. I don't know all those details.
If I may, Robert Demaray.
I think this gentleman's testifying. You
Oh,
can-
sorry.
Just wait, we'll get to you.
Definitely,
Because
definitely.
I can help answer that question.
That's fine. I guess another question I would have is, so your understanding is it's been used for residential. If we would walk in the front, I'm assuming there's kitchen, bedroom, that it's clearly currently set up for a house?
It appears that there have been some changes made to the property. So and I'm sorry, I just don't remember exactly off the top of my head. I walked through it a couple times initially, but I want to say there is a kitchen on one of the properties, but and there's, like, the bathrooms remain, but whoever had the property last, or the current owner, they made changes. They removed, for example, they combined the two properties. They cut a hole through
They
the
were gonna
wall.
put a school or a preschool in it? Is that right?
I want to say, I just don't want to say the wrong thing. I think that's what their intention was, and it never panned out. It never
I
happened.
mean, only if you know the answers. I mean,
Yeah.
Right, so
Trying to get
because I'm not
yourself something
certain,
to
I
say.
just don't want to give the wrong answer. But if you walk through either door, I want to say the one side of the house does have a kitchen, the other side, it looks like it was removed and was being prepared for a different use. So, yes, they could be put back, it could be two houses again if you wanted to put kitchens in them, and it would need some work either way.
How far are you into the process?
How far am I into the
Yes.
process? Well, I have the property under agreement.
Okay.
It is contingent upon, the only way I'm gonna buy it and move forward is if I can create the 4 units out of it. That's the best use that I found for the property. Because of the asking price, it doesn't make sense for me to buy them and rent them as.
What is the asking price?
The asking price was $490,000. I did get it under agreement for less than that. I can tell you if you want
Yeah,
to know.
sure.
Well, I'm not sure
Oh.
if that's relevant or public information that.
Well,
I'll
what
give it
is
to
it,
you.
what is the price that you have it under agreement for?
Well, I have it under agreement for 435,000.
Okay.
I have the contract here if you'd like to see that.
That's okay.
442.5.
442.5, okay. Do you have financing?
Yes, through Members First Bank, they would be financing this particular project if approved. And I guess I can also shed some light. I currently own about 25 units in Lancaster City. I've been in real estate for over 20 years. I have my own construction company, and I have a son who also has a construction business. So we have all the resources for starting this project and finishing it. Not only with the financing, but we do our own work, plumbing, electrical, kitchens.
You've done units like this before?
Yes, I have, yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Dwight, go ahead.
I just was trying to understand, so it had been used for residential, there was some changes made in anticipated of a different use, but that never fully got off the ground. So now it's kind of in this limbo where you could potentially put it back into 2 single-family units, but you're trying to get approval for 2 units in each one. And how would you access the 2 units? Would be one from the front or the rear, or would?
Okay, and I'll gladly answer all these, but I also just want to mention that Bob is the architectural engineer that I work
Oh,
with.
okay.
So he's really good at answering these type of
Sure,
questions.
if Bob wants to
But,
come up, we can ask him. Is there, you're asking for a variance, right? Are there unique physical attributes of the property that create a hardship in using it as it currently exists?
I would say, other than financially, what their the sale price of the property makes it, I don't think it's gonna make sense to anyone to pay that money and then spend the amount of money that it would take to turn them into, 2 single houses again. Especially someone that doesn't do their own work and because I save a lot of money because we do our own work. Even the price I got it at, it's a little more than I wanted to pay, but it falls right in that threshold of, where it would make sense. I would have to pump somewhere between $75,000 and $100,000 to convert this and to create the 4 units. I think anyone would spend about the same amount on each house, just to put a kitchen back in and close the walls up and get everything back the way it was. And I don't see, could happen, but.
You're also putting in your time.
Absolutely,
At the
lots of
same
time, lots of time.
Can I help answer the?
Just wait, we'll get to you, we'll finish his questions, and then both of you can testify. Would you agree, though, that the way they are constructed was designed for residential uses, and so you are in a commercial zone now, so that creates a hardship? It wouldn't be easily converted into maybe an office space. It's more designed for residential use.
Absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely. I
So it would
mean,
be a hardship to convert this into some business or commercial use.
Yes, and with the parking requirements, that are already in place, it's almost impossible, I think, depending on what type of commercial use would they be able to.
And tell me about the parking. Where would the residents for the units park?
So currently, there's a total of 7 spaces on the property.
Off-street parking?
Yes, there's 5 spaces in the rear, and there's a driveway that technically, I'm only crediting the driveway for 2 cars, but you could put 6 cars in this driveway. It's a deep driveway.
Let me stop you there.
Sure.
So the ordinance is going to require you can't stack cars.
Okay, then that's where I'm back at the 7 then. 5 in the rear and the 2 in the front.
The 2 in the front, are they stacked or are they side by
No,
side?
they're side by side. I think, they're, one of the plot plans that we submitted, you can see the driveway there. You can actually see the parking spaces in the back, and you can see the driveway, how you would pull in and, you would park in front of each property. Currently, the way it is.
I'm just a little confused. Can you come up here and
Sure.
just show the board? Okay, so, and you can even mark on that. Just
Thank you.
show us the spaces, like highlight where they
Okay,
would be.
there's 5 spaces back here.
Okay.
Those are parking spaces. And then here's a driveway, so one vehicle would be able to park there and one there without stacking. And it's a wide driveway,
Okay.
if that helps.
Yep, that helps a lot.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with the property.
I'm somewhat familiar. And what are those out back? Are there additional spaces or what? do
Yes,
I see
there's,
back?
the 5 lines I made there's 5 parking spaces
And then how
behind,
many in the front here?
2 in the front,
2.
yes.
Would you, other than renovating the footprint of the 2 units, would you expand anything out?
Like an addition or anything, no, there's no need to do any of that,
So no additional impervious surface?
no.
Okay. And it looks like there's essentially 3 access points. 2 for the units in the front, and then a side driveway that goes up to the rear for the parking.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, and part of this hardship frankly is the size of the residential units that existed, which aren't practical anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, any other questions from the board? You want to hear from the architect?
Sure.
Good evening.
And again, your name is?
Robert Demaray.
How do you
I'm
spell
a-
your last name?
DES as in Sam, MARAIS as in Sam.
Okay. And how are you employed?
I'm self-employed.
Self-employed as an architect?
Engineer.
Engineer,
Engineer.
okay. And you want to describe a little bit about the property and the proposed?
Yeah,
improvements?
I went through it with Danny to evaluate the structural concerns about it. There are some accesses to the basement that need to be repaired. I mean, they're collapsing. Retaining walls that are collapsing. We're just doing a general look through to get a structural opinion. It's in good shape in that sense. I know I used to live in Lancaster Township when I was a planning commissioner here for years. I know that it was residential. It was 2 single family, similarly to the properties just to the east. At some point in time, I remember it got rezoned to light commercial, and then the synagogue that currently owns it did try to do some kind of, recently, to convert it to a yeshiva of some sort, and they just couldn't make it work. And I can see why. Accessibility to the upper levels is problematic, fire safety is problematic. I don't think there's adequate handicap parking on the site. It's also site constrained from parking under the current zoning ordinance. There's just no way that this property can be converted to the uses that are used by right in the light commercial zoning cost effectively. The other thing that the zoning ordinance isn't considering is that it sits on a state highway, and I doubt that you're ever gonna change the occupancy permit on Columbia Avenue for that driveway. The other thing that's interesting is that the driveway for the adjacent property to the west, which is, I believe, a dental service or whatever, most of that driveway belongs to 1057. So they don't own that driveway. Most of it, if you look at the lot lines, belongs to.
I guess that's good, right?
Very interesting condition, right? The other thing with this is if it goes to, so from a parking standpoint and traffic standpoint, I don't know how that it would work under a commercial use. If we go back to a residential use, I don't know if anybody would buy it and try to put it back into a single family on each side. They are deeded separately, so even though they're owned in common by the current owner, they are separate properties. Which is why.
Well, and you'd be taking title to them as separate properties.
Yeah, you'd be taking title as separate. If you go to apartments, it kind of works better. Also answers a lot of questions and concerns about housing availability in the community.
Is there
The parking
a way
is the
that
problem.
you can make it safe for purposes, for instance, of fire?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Under the residential
Outside fire
code.
escapes, or how would you do it?
Well, we'd have to make sure that the escape windows are in place and things like that. So we would go through and make sure that it's code compliant. On the ground floor, there's a front and a rear exit. On the second floor, we'd have to make sure that we have the life safety windows, which could easily be done in the front, which is where the bedrooms would be best suited. And because of the roofs, the porch roofs. So
there would be one-
each house used to have a garage, a single car garage, and that was closed in under this renovation, this stalled renovation. So there's no longer the garages are no longer functioning as garages.
Will there be separate access for, say, the bottom floor and the top
Yes.
floor?
Yeah.
Okay.
From the exterior.
From the
You won't be going
exterior.
into a common hallway or anything like that.
So how is that gonna
Yeah,
work?
how's that
I
gonna
mean,
work?
is it,
We'd provide a stairway.
Yeah.
So one of them already has a steel frame fire escape that would continue to be used for the main access.
And that is exterior?
It is exterior, yeah. It's on the
1055
East.
has it, yeah.
northeast corner. And we would do something similarly on the adjacent on 1057.
and the apartments, there'd be one above the other on both
Correct.
sides?
Stack, yeah.
Okay. Do you know if you're gonna need sprinklers?
You do not.
Okay.
And they're frame dwellings?
They're combination masonry and framing. It's brick and brick bearing on the exterior and the party wall, and then wood framing otherwise.
Will you consolidate the lots, or will they remain separate?
They would remain separate.
So will you have an easement for parking on the one lot that requires additional parking, but it's not available to it? Does my question make sense? You have a
It does,
parking lot
I
at
understand your
5,
question.
so you would need an easement for the one that only has one space available.
Right.
Simple enough, you can create that, right?
Yeah, you can create that yourself, because you'd be owning both.
Okay.
You can give yourself an easement. So what he's saying is, if I have 2 units here, I need 7 parking spots according to the ordinance. The other one needs 7 as well, but you can only get 1, and the other one has 6. So you'd have to create an easement so that they can share them.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I guess that's a question. How many parking spots do we need? under-
14,
Is that right?
Sounds right.
it's 1.5 per bedroom plus 1 for, it's even more than that, no, sorry.
Per bedroom?
Two per unit.
2 per unit,
There's
One
8.
and a half visitor.
1.5 visitor, that's the number. So then you get 3.5 per times 4 is 14.
So wait, let's slow
3.5 per unit.
Yeah.
Wait, 2 per unit.
2 is not what I thought.
That's what I thought too. 2 per unit, so that's a total of 8.
Yeah.
Right? And
plus
then-
1.5 per unit for visitors.
Is that what the ordinance says? That's crazy.
Thank you for saying that. I would highly recommend that.
How
you
is
visit
it
it
coming
sometime.
up with that?
Yeah, that's
Wow.
crazy.
So you
I
need a
mean-
total of
14.
7 more spaces.
Yeah.
And
That's
how
one of
many
the
total
problems.
do you have?
And this is residential. Just think about it as
So you need a variance for the number of parking spaces as well.
well, if he can show that he has a lease for parking with the synagogue, you know,
Yeah,
we can kind of get the parking.
As a backup, I did negotiate a lease with the synagogue for a yearly contract for them to provide me with 7 more spaces, should we need it for this, you know, for
Well, that would be a condition of the grants.
understood.
Well, yeah, I mean, just
Or you ask for a variance for the parking.
Or as for variance.
for purposes of long-term, can you get a total of 8 spaces on the property you own?
Yes.
Because to me, having at least 2 per unit would, on there would be enough if you
Gets
could
us in the
lease.
door.
You get, yeah, I don't know what the
I
hell.
would-
If it's a
yeah.
variance for parking, it's just not that, yeah.
Right, so I mean, at least you'd have 2 per unit on site.
And then
Right.
guest parking, yeah, if you had an arrangement with the synagogue. I mean, I think we would require that though as a condition to at least have that for visitor parking.
Where, the synagogue that you negotiated parking, where are those spaces at?
In their, at the synagogue,
Across the street.
across the street,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, my concern there would be not
People
being able to
walking.
try and cross Columbia Avenue, not.
It's on the other side of Columbia Avenue.
Yeah, so the lot entrance is across from the intersection with President and Columbia. The synagogue parking lot. So
How
there
far-
is a
How far
crosswalk
is that
there.
from these properties? How many feet?
I mean, we're talking from here to here,
Maybe about
it's a couple hundred.
200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean,
What
there's,
about with the dental office? I mean,
they're not cooperative.
okay.
Is there any way, again, I'm sensitive to stormwater, but is there any way to put another space or 2 on the rear?
Not on the rear.
But in the front?
Yeah. The adjacent, the dental office property is L-shaped in terms of parking and
But doesn't the one
squeezed it in
unit,
as much as possible.
the one unit to the, I guess it would be to the east, have a yard behind it?
It has a full yard behind it, but it's landlocked.
But there's no access to
Yeah.
it.
You can't use the driveway for the other unit? I mean, it looks to me like you could
There's,
just.
the
Right.
buildings are too close to the side lot lines in order to be able to get parking on the east, or the drive on the east. I believe that you can add 2 more spaces in the front.
Well, right, I mean,
Outside of that, I mean,
You
adding
could-
I mean, that's
anything impervious might.
you'd have to keep it under maybe 1,000 or 2, whatever the small.
Yeah, I don't, off the top of my head, don't know the impervious coverage, do you?
Not off the top of my head, we didn't go that far. We didn't dig into it.
8
Exactly.
spaces on site,
And-
which could be on either,
Yeah, as long as there's a declaration recorded that,
a formal declaration.
that says that the
With
one has
easements
4 space,
and grass
identifies
egress and-
which spaces are for which units.
Mhm. Yeah.
Maybe granting the variance is cleaner. if-
We do believe we can add 2 more spaces in front of 1057.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, to the extent
You can get 2 in the front on each for,
so that would take you up to 9, 8.
well,
Oh,
9,
2
take
more
it to
would
9.
take us up to
To
9.
9. And what it gives you is 2 per unit.
But what's nice is you have 2 maybe for, on either side for one of the, maybe the lower unit. I don't know where the doors are for the.
Yeah,
lower-
they're, you know,
Right there.
they're on the far side of each, so you get in the driveway, and then the driveway had expanded to get into the garages, and then there's the entrance porches.
I see.
So that's where their entrances to the ground floor units would remain, but if we can create 2 parking spots for each of those, and then you have the 4 in the back.
Mm-hmm.
So one in the rear is currently accessible, It's designated accessible
Okay.
parking space.
So could you get a total of 9 that you'd have 1 for guests? Okay. So 9 parking spaces on, I'm gonna say site, which would be those 2 properties.
And where are the entrances again for the lower units? They'd be in the
With
front?
arrangement
They'd be in the
for
front.
There's front, they also have back, and
And they'd
they have
also
a
have
back door
back.
as well.
And then the upstairs
Five
Would
are
be at the rear.
at
That's up
the
to
rear,
board. I mean,
okay.
it's one of
So
those
if
things
I'm
where 5
at
years from now, are they gonna still
1055,
have that in place, and is it
getting
forced?
from my parking spot in the back, am I
Maybe
crossing
they should
along?
be able to get
Just
something
to
else. I don't
get
know.
back
We'll
in?
have, well, there.
Or you have a
current-
14 sounds
Yeah,
like-
currently you are cross, I think there's like
I
a,
think-
can't
I'm
see
just
the
trying to
flagstone
understand.
anymore. Right, but it would have to be cleaned up so that you
Okay,
can get back
I
It
to
needs
it.
to be a
Yeah,
minimum.
right.
Right, correct.
To
Okay.
account for the guests.
I mean, you know,
There's a
we also have to
crosswalk
think about where the
at the
trash cans
intersection.
should go, and
Typically,
all that, so all that kind of has to be thought through.
Made it
Just to
accessible.
be
Right.
honest with you,
Yeah.
that's,
Well, I mean, anymore, if you have, for instance, husband and wife, they both have cars. So even a
Yeah.
one-bedroom, I mean, it's not uncommon. We went through this with another apartment complex not long
yeah.
ago.
So what do you do for single families? Do you require an extra space for guests?
The last one that I did, it was an open space issue as well, that they ended up,
They didn't
Doing the
have
full
it,
amount.
they had to do 3. So you have to do 3 for single family, 3.5 for single family.
Yeah. Can't remember what I'm on.
He said he has an arrangement.
They're fine.
I'm good with that, just as a.
So how many will the lease, how many parking spaces for guests?
They agreed to 7 spaces,
Okay.
and that was.
And if you do 9 on site
Yeah.
and you need a total of 15, so maybe you could do 6.
14, you, yeah,
14, maybe you could do 5.
you do the 5.
5 with them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And remind me the name of the synagogue?
Daigle is where you
Okay. And so if one of the conditions would be, if the board is inclined to approve this, that you would have to show the zoning officer a written agreement.
I have it here. if you
Oh,
wanna see.
perfect, do you want to,
Submit it as an exhibit?
we could put it, make a copy of it if you have a copy, or...
That is my copy, so.
You'd like a copy?
Yeah, if that's all right.
Is this just the last page of the agreement?
Oh, what am I, yeah, sorry.
I just need 1 through 6, you know.
I'm busy with, I was focusing on the signature.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks.
Let's do 5.
5 copies, and you'll get yours back.
Yes, thank you.
Is there anything else about the design of the units or the layout of the site that you wanted to explain?
The units, like, actually what we'll do is we'll take out the stairs that go to the second floor that were part of the original single family, which then really cleans up the layout. So on both floors, the stairs were problematic. in terms
Just
of-
move the stairs to the.
We just take them out and close the floor up. Right.
Okay.
Because you have outdoor stairs for the upper unit.
Correct, that is correct. And the basement for each of the properties is also exterior. There was an interior, but there is an exterior access, so that way you can get access to the mechanicals. The basement areas are very small, because originally, when the garage there, that's all slab on grade, so when you actually go into the basement, it is nowhere in the plan area of the first floor, it's very small. Yeah, it's really you can't do anything with it.
You're thinking storage?
Yes, well, storage and mechanical, I mean, it would never be, even in commercial use, I don't know what you could do with it, it's just too small.
Yeah.
Right.
Not a living space.
No.
Yeah, not a living space, not an office space, it's just really, and it's low, head-wise. So it's not really usable space for any function other than storage and mechanical.
Will the tenants be allowed to use that open space in the back? Will that be a common area
Yeah.
for tenants? And the parking in front of the units, they won't have to back out onto Columbia. They'll be able to pull in and
Yeah,
turn
that-
around and then
Right,
head
right.
straight out.
It's big enough that you can
turn around.
maneuver. Yeah. And you can do some minor paving, without really hurting the impervious surface coverage to make that function more convenient.
No short-term rentals here?
I wasn't planning on it, no.
And that would require separate approval.
Oh, for like an Airbnb? Yeah, I have 2 in East Hempfield Township. So but then in the city, they don't allow
Your
that.
secret's safe with me. I'm just
Ah,
asking you
yeah.
here if you are using.
No.
I mean, I think we just want to be clear that these are,
Residential.
residential
Long-term
rental,
residential.
typically over 30 days is the minimum length to be a non-Airbnb.
Yeah, no, if my intention was Airbnb, I would have requested that, but no, I think the best use for this would be residential long-term.
Do you wanted to add anything? Just state your name for the record.
Jerry Lehman.
Yep.
I don't know if you need anything from me, but, when you were talking about the best use, I just thought, it's been sitting empty for a long time.
Jerry, just so I get your name right, spell your first and last.
JERYLEHMAN.
Just one R?
JERRY.
Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. Okay. All right, go ahead. And who are you a realtor with?
Coldwell Banker.
Okay.
There was another realtor before me too, so it's been marketed and empty for a long time. And I advertised it, the whole thing is a commercial building, and I advertised half as residential. And number one, nobody was really interested in commercial. We only had 5 showings. And on the residential side, we had a lot of interest, but nobody wanted to buy them as they are. So until Danny came along and suggested affordable.
Any other questions board members have? So it sounds like the relief requested is not going to include a variance for parking because you have the off-site. I mean, I suppose there could be a variance to allow the guest space to be off-site because I think normally it has to be on-site.
There are some provisions in the ordinance that do
It
allow.
permits it to be off-site
Within
under
a certain
like
distance.
this, but I don't know that that's a separate.
Okay. Well, it could be a condition.
Yeah,
That
that's
would
what-
make it.
I think a condition's a good idea.
So let me just
And
write.
maybe a condition with the exterior stairways.
You could do that. So
Which
what
you're
I,
planning anyway?
Yes.
Cool.
so the conditions that I have so far are the exterior stairway, a declaration of parking easement that if in the future you would try and sell these 2 separately, that the one unit, the 2 units on the east side,
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to get my directions right,
Correct.
would have at least 4 parking spaces available to it on one of those 2 properties, if
Understood.
that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you would provide at least 9 parking spaces on the property. There'd be 5 parking spaces leased for guest parking, and there'd be no short-term rentals. And then we do have standard conditions that you have to go through and get the permits and approvals for making the renovations, and that you would agree to comply with your testimony tonight and your representations that are made. So those are what we call our standard conditions.
Do they have any comments?
Oh, yeah, we can ask. Folks in the rear, do you have any comments you'd like to make, statements? Questions? Now's your chance. You're all good? Okay. Township have a position on this?
Our biggest concern was the parking,
Okay.
which is seemingly been pretty well addressed. I still think it's a lot of cars parked in a small area, but that's for the engineer to figure out how to squeeze them in there and do that with the impervious in mind. Just up for the board.
Let's go ahead and mark the
Right.
lease as a...
Oh, you have it?
I have one, yeah. We'll mark it as A1.
Oh, you got that?
Yeah, I'll just stretch the nights a little bit.
Yeah,
And then you have the
Mr.
board,
Yes.
the three you submitted for the board.
Just wait 1 second. Let
All right.
This is one.
Yeah.
I do have a question when
All right.
appropriate.
Well, go ahead.
I just wanted to clarify, because we mentioned about putting the 9 spaces, so it would be, even though I have an agreement for 7 spaces, I can reduce that to 5 then? Like, I just want
That's
to make sure
correct.
we
The
don't.
condition will be that you need 5 off-site parking spaces, and the other condition is you will provide 9 on-site.
Okay,
Of course, if you do this and you can provide 10, then you can just work the magic and reduce
Okay.
the numbers.
The goal is 14,
Right,
min 9 on site, or,
exactly,
right.
yeah,
And if you do change the lease, submit the new lease
understood.
to the township.
Okay.
yeah. Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. I think we went over just about everything that I can think of, so.
Okay.
You know, going back to my time as a planning commissioner, Lancaster Township, I understand why that was converted to light commercial. You know, given it's Columbia Avenue and who wants to live on Columbia Avenue kind of a thing. But this property just doesn't really lend itself to.
I live on Columbia.
Yeah,
But,
I used to live on Atkins, but right at the bottom where the traffic was going 90 miles an hour. But I don't see how it can really effectively, economically be used under the current zone. I just don't.
I think that's the hardship.
Yeah, the hardship is that the zoning is really inappropriate for that property. I understand why it is what it is, but you'd have to
Here
raise,
you go,
you'd have
variance.
to tear them down, and I don't know how you could really do anything on there with parking and everything. You'd really be almost 100% impervious, you know, to make it work. So, you know, that, of course, is gonna go against all the cellular portions, so.
Okay, so, anything else? Any other questions? Think you could do a motion to close the testimony?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
Aye.
So closed.
So the record is closed.
I move then that the application of Daniel Falcon and Falcon Property Holdings LLC for a variance pursuant to section 28702 of the Lancaster Township zoning ordinance to permit the conversion of 2 residential units into 4 residential units at 1055 and 1057 Columbia Avenue be approved, subject to the rules and conditions as articulated by our solicitor, Mr. Yoder, as follows.
There will be exterior stairways constructed for the 2 upper unit apartments. There will be a declaration of parking easement recorded for the east unit, guaranteeing at least 2 additional parking spaces for those units. The applicant will provide at a minimum 9 parking spaces on site over those 2 properties. The applicant will also maintain a lease to provide 5 additional parking spaces for guest parking. Applicant agrees not to allow any short-term rentals in the units, and the approval will be subject to the board's standard conditions, which I'm not going to read through, but we attach those to all the approvals.
Thank you,
Well, let's
I
vote.
second-
thank you.
Let's
I
vote.
second the motion.
Oh, sorry.
I second the motion, John.
You gotta vote.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Good.
Now you're good to go.
Now I gotta go?
Now you're good to go.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
luck.
Thank you.
Appreciate all your time. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Do a nice job.
Thank you.
Well,
Gracias.
I work with him because he
Yeah.
does nice work, and he's a good landlord.
Good, good
Thank
to
you,
hear.
John, for all your help. Thank you. Thank you, board.
Thank you. Have a nice day, everybody.
yep, you too.
That's a good use of property. That's a good way to take the property. That's good.
Did you want to adjourn the meeting?
Move to adjourn?
Second?